Hi, folks. My name is going into areas I've never been before that I think with, that I create with, that create me no more separate as an illusion of something that I am in limited to it. Did you catch that? Did you see what I have been saying for many years, or just an example me have I given you so that you would be Jesus in the flesh, not talking about, or are you becoming one of Christ in the cosmos of affliction, not again, but a being of light, a light being, an angel, some would say, some would call it. Are you becoming not limited to earth again? Are you becoming the conscious creator of you? Will you be willing? Will you come as a little child to the throne of grace no more to throw your life before another theory? Or will you create something tangible? You, a new you in flesh, without your hammer? Or are you not using it against people anymore? Or will you change how you use your tools, your thoughts? Using you not again to be separate. What are you arranging now? Your marriage not to faith, but a new life? Or married not to failure? Or marrying nothing again as thought would have you believe or make it out to be? Are you changing your life force, the source of your life, source of your will of your consciousness, consciousness of your will? Where the hammer does not do all things for you. Or what hammering are you no more into place with your will, your words of, pardon. You see, so often we have sought knowledge. How to be something, how to do something. How to do something so where we become something that we think is successful. Feel better about ourselves, ourself. We like our ego. We primp it up often. Egotistical are we? But see, there's more to the story of the humble who will come, the humble who will come and be at the table of one, with one consciousness, a consciousness of one where everyone sits at a table, a round table, a table of equals, a table of one mind, a table of one consciousness, a table of the will no more consuming you in your lust for it to be your flesh about. Will you no more lust after flesh? Even you in it after another. Well, you no more want your libido reproducing a human race? Or are you changing what the cosmic affairs are of and everything you know about it and how to use it? Or let it use you no more? Or what are you? Asking questions. You see, I know some of you would just like me to give you the answers. Some of you don't even want to know the questions. You just want the answers. You want the shortcut. You want the summary. You want AI to do it for you. You don't want to mess. You just want the better outcome. The better, the better. But see, what's important here, maybe the most important, is not what I say or even what I ask, but what goes on inside you as I speak, as I teach, as I show, as I prompt, as I give you new words to consider, possibly new definitions, a new capacity, designing it in you? Or am I no more the designer of you according to my image of you? Or will you see what you are saying or what can be said about these things? The hammer of the will. You see, I was thinking this morning about a hammer as I was pondering. See, I don't pray, I ponder. Mary, did you know? Mary, will you know? Mary, will you conceive? The Christ, the image of man, not again a God about? Or are you changing the cosmos of your affairs, your thinking, your will? Are you willing to see the tools that you have? Or are they not tools? Or are you the energy of something else coming into being now that no longer thinks it's separate from the world, from existence, from the conscious creator? I don't have all of the answers, you see. I am learning. I am in school with this broadcast even. I am learning me about me as I speak. Learning about you as you speak, I pray you too will also, as you begin to speak these things that you know not, but you think you're willing to come as a little child, to begin to speak through you, to you, through you, with a will of one, a consciousness of the Creator before all things were created, the Creator before time existed, before this planet. I was thinking about a hammer for some reason. So often, just using it as maybe a crude example. We want knowledge. We want knowledge in a certain area. We want knowledge how to enter the cosmos, how to defeat death, walk on water. Or do we just want a better job? We just want more money, less month at the end of our paycheck. We want. We want. We're always wanting. Trying to reach and grab, find, control something. Knowledge. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. But what if there's a different way to look at it all? What if we're coming into something where we are the creator of creation itself? The conscious author, the conscious blogger, the conscious teacher, the conscious of the consciousness of one. Will you believe not? Will you defeat your authorship of you no more? What created you? Your will? Your words? Your knowledge? Your understanding? Somebody else? A higher power? A different authority? A God? This is the author of confusion, not again speaking, who thinks there's a God, who thinks it does not author confusion. I suggest to you, God of the mind is the mind that creates a God so that you will be separate from it, your own creation of. We haven't known we were creators. We haven't known the power of energy, or have we destroyed ourselves with it? Or have we just limited each other in our thinking? Ourselves first, wanting to know more, do more, think this is all there is, this is reality, a 3D world? What's the hammer for? So if I see a tool and I don't know what it's for, but of course, looking back, we think we know what this is used for, right? And we can use it. We all can use it. We can pick it up and bam. But can we use it well? Can we use it with skill? Finesse? What all can we use this for? Not just driving a nail, pulling out a nail, a lever, a fulcrum. You see, we think we know how to use words. And so we use them. But how do we use them? What are we using when we use words? And what are these words doing to us? The words of our vocabulary, the nomenclature that we have acquired, the parlance, the vernacular, the use of acronyms, and all sorts of literary devices. We think we know, and we use too often at the lowest level. We haven't become authors of our own clarity. We haven't realized the mind is using us. We so often identify with our mind. How many times a day, hundreds and hundreds, do we say, I, this, oh, I think this, I think that, I want, I don't want. I, the mind, the mind. But how is all of this working actually? You see, and coming into being. Who's in charge of what, why, wherefore? Are you seeing? Are you asking? Are you inquiring? Are you letting? Let there be light. How? Let there be light. You're the light of the world. The light, the power, the shining, the origination of your will. Your will, no more dominating you. Will you have the will of no other will to dominate you anymore? Will you come as a little child to the Creator? The Creator of what? Not confusion, but the clarity of what? The clarity that you're the Creator. You create your will. Your will creates you. You create your vocabulary. Your vocabulary creates you. You think you're a dummy? The dummy creates you. You think you're brilliant? The brilliant create you. How we have thought has controlled us. But let us be under control of control no more. The thinking of. Let us no more identify with our mind as I am. Let us see that there are programs that run on us. Programs using our power. Programs, definitions, algorithms, dots and dashes, Morse code. Language, DNA, RNA, mirror neurons, ghost in your genes, epigenetics, what have you. But see, back to the hammer. I can see a hammer and not know what to do with it. But once I've seen somebody else use the hammer, oh, okay, that's how you use it. But it doesn't bring me skill. I don't have the finesse of a master picture framer that knows just the right amount of strength to use, force to apply to little itty-bitty nails and fasteners. We want more knowledge. But are you willing this day to go beyond knowledge? And not just know how to use this, but realize you are the energy of it, of your will. What are you willing to see? The energy of something else. The divine opportunity to be Christ in your shoes, or to go beyond all religion, all religious suffering. Not even the reality of this world, but beyond it, behind it, throughout it. What play are you no more on the stage of? Will you change what you believe your reality is? We have the idea. So many of us have the concept of a soul. And some teach the idea that the soul must be saved from something, saved from hell, saved from itself, saved, reclaimed. So there's a God story of reclamation or mediation, redemption. So some teach that soul is mind, will, and emotions, or that used to be for many years what I thought, what I was taught. But we are breaking out of the dimensions of mankind's mind, humanity, so that we will be led by humanity, no more bred by humanity. You see, it's not enough to have the knowledge. You become it. You become knowledge itself. You're no longer affording yourself or trying to be complacent in the idea that your will is something separate. When you're willing to wrestle with the angel, you see there's something more about this, and it's not limited, you see, to the words that I say this day or any day. What's important in my teaching is what goes on in you while I am teaching, for you to create in you new neural pathways, you creating a new consciousness of me, my words, my presentation, but oh, so much more. Because the vast within you is waiting for you to open the door to you, to see not just how to use the hammer to hit a nail, but to see how to design life. A new life, a new you, a new conception, not concretized in the being of molecules. The conscious creator creates. The conscious creator is willing to learn to create. The conscious creator, my friend, begins. You come as a little child with humility. Where you begin to let your thinking arise, you begin to say, what if? You begin to ask questions. You begin to listen. You begin to learn. You begin to create. You begin to interact. This is what I call pondering. You begin to interact with something where your energy is not just hammering words into your reality and making your reality a force field of something else that's illusory, that's an illusion. You're not limited to this reality. You're not limited to this body that you carry around this day. Nor am I. But we are learning how. Learning together. Are you willing to? Are you willing to shield you no more from the truth? Are you willing to be in another person's mind? What an idea, huh? Walking around in their mind, seeing their fibs and their foibles and successes and failures, disasters and catastrophes, and sometimes happiness, without condemning them, without any judgment at all, without any confusion about who they are, who you are, who one consciousness is, the creator of, the creators of, one, who love each other majestically. The majesty of union, the love of unconditional love, where there's no condemnation ever. But love pervades, love permeates. Love preaches not. Love comes before you and says, I am here. Here I am. As a little child, I lead. I know not all the answers. I don't have all the questions. But I'm documenting my path. And if you choose to, you can walk with me on yours. Ours being the same one, into a new place. You see, I'm not looking for big numbers of subscribers who want to listen, who want to read my words as an add-on to their life. If you just want more knowledge to do what you've been doing, to head where you're heading, to where you're head in the same manner, with the same values that you always have, I'm not where you want to be. So I've changed my subscription rate. I've gone back to what I started with, $100 a month for people who subscribe. Because I'm not after big numbers. I'm not after the 99. I'm going after the one. The one who says there's more, and I'm willing to go get it. I'm committing. I'm competent. I'm qualified. I'm ready for more. So there is a path in this that opens up our childhood to us. Not of the molecular one with all of the emotions and hurts and experiences of wanting to be accepted so desperately by others, but the childhood of our youth, the dew of our youth, the dew of our youth, the dew, D-E-W, of our origin, not the origin of our species. I'm not trying to redeem it. I'm creating a new one. A new one of life, love, and breath of peace. The breath of energy. The energy of breath, the energy of motion, not the energy of containment anymore in flesh. So neurons will no more use us. You see, the mind that we have so identified with for so long uses us. The real us is behind the veil, behind the curtain. The energy of the will are you willing to redeem your will? Your will, and have a different will that creates you differently. Are you willing to become a new creation who creates you to be the creator of you again, seeking nobody else to do it? Will you become the consciousness of one, the consciousness of the Almighty, no longer needing a spiritual frame of reference, a spiritual paradigm? The consciousness of one, whether you call it Christ or not, certainly not Christian. But the freedom of Christ, freedom of expression, freedom of the mind, freedom of absolute love, the freedom of unconditional love, to create and recreate unconditional love by the energy that no longer stomps on it and says, you're separate. I'm me. I'm separate from you. I'm separate from God. I'm a created being. I'm destined to die, and then I'll be judged and I'll spend eternity? Oh, come on. There's more to this story, and it's a brilliant story, a story of light, love, and peace. Peace beyond the understanding of man, because the mind of man wants to create confusion all the time. It creates the problems and then wants to solve the problems. It wants to be its own author of its own accord, in its own matrimony to itself, this reality, the illusion. The illusion. We're not really limited here. You see all of this? All of the stars at night, all of that is inside of you. Wow. How do I fly? How do I get there? I open it up right here first. And this is the author, not of confusion, but of clarity. Clarity perfect. Where the perfect, we begin to recognize in us that we are it, the perfection of not glorifying another, but being who we really are. No longer glorifying the hammer or the arm that swings it, but understanding, oh, what I wanted to use the hammer for. Oh, I had a thought, I willed to drive a nail, hang a picture, drive a nail, so I went and got the hammer. Will. At what point did my will drive me, lead me? What's leading you and what's driving you? What separates you from the ability to will the nail into place, the perfect place in the wall, without a hammer? Or you just think it, and it's done, without having to wiggle your nose like, what was that show? I Dream of Jeannie on TV years ago. She could wiggle her nose and create things, move things. All. The creator of your reality is you. The creator of your thought life is you. But see, please, within you, the veil that has been created by you, by others, people's words, actions, phrases, and experiences to tell you you're not worth much, you're unworthy. You're this, you're that, the other. You're not God. You're poor. Your righteousness is filthy rags. And you need this, that, and the other to do, and do more. But see, the mind is never satisfied. It's insatiable. The mind is a machine, essentially, a cognitive processing unit, CPU, the cognitive organic processing unit. This body uses us to form its very operation of its will. But now I have a vocabulary I have experiences with a set of phrases and words and sentences that give me a new reality. And I am not forfeiting it again. I go on with you or without you. I'm not looking for large numbers of people to study with me, though that may occur in future, millions maybe. But at this moment, I think about 10, a class of 10 at a round table, equally loving each other. Not focused on the separation, difference in gender, difference in headdress, difference in religion, but allowing love, the commonality, the communion of, to interact. No longer looking for brokers or mediators, middlemen, robe bearers, authority-driven personalities. But see, to come into your authorship of your creation of you, I suggest you must interact with what? Your own power, your own surrender to be the real you. Because pardon me, behind the will, behind the idea, to hang the picture, where to hang the picture, what picture to hang, needing a nail, going to get the hammer, what to do with the hammer, how to use the hammer. All of that is not separate. Because, friend, you are creating all of this. You are creating your very existence as we speak. Denying it no more, will you author confusion and hammers that bash you with other people's words, making you malleable into their fashion and form of you, no longer wear your flesh the way you do. With what values are you living your life now, the life of creation? You see, I don't have all of the answers. I'm not your God. I'm not your creator. I'm a lover. I love love. I've come into love. I met love as I began to channel her, a feminine energy, whether you call it divine or not. But the original source of the source, before whatever primordial ether existed, the original of the original is you, who will be it no more creating you to be this in your flesh at this moment in time, because time exists no more as it was. When you begin to see the author of your creator, and that it's you, you begin to change how you look at the hammer, how you look at pictures, how you look at words, how you look at situations, wars, disease, things so distressing, things that just want to play on your mind and use your mind. You see, your mind doesn't care what it thinks. It just wants to think. Like a perpetual motion, perpetual energy machine. Run, 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 run till the battery goes out and then you die. What is that producing energy for? A separation, a veil. but there's a light. No longer waiting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, will you become the light in your two shoes, where you begin to birth new words. You begin to birth new questions. You begin to originate new life, and the power of the light machine, no more controlled by the machine, but you begin to use the machine. You begin to use your mind instead of your mind using you, because you take control of it. No. The mind wants to take control. But when you meet wisdom, she comes as a little child. Wisdom will caress you. Wisdom doesn't know what a hammer is. Not. But my friend, when you know who you are, you won't need one. Because we construct by thought, but not without intention. Intention, the operation of the will. What will? The will of me, the will of you, the will of God no more controlling us, but a will that wills us to be the authors, not of a continuum of failure and a lifeline of poverty, but the origination of a new race. Not conquerors, but lovers. Lovers who love each other equally and deny nothing to anyone else. That helps, clarifies. That's why we help each other with the papers we write. It's not called plagiarism anymore. In my school, your school. School of life? No. School of the cosmic origin of me. The conscious creator. The lover. Reframing your existence now to be frameless, dimensionless, infinite. Begin a new life. And no matter what words I've shared with you, probably the most important are the ones that you begin to let form in you, that you begin to ponder with, where you sit at table with just you, the table of one. Not just your conscience of a separation, not just a consciousness of separation, but a beginning consciousness that allows your entry into the real you that has one mind, that cannot be conquered unless you just lay it down before another, wanting your example of separation to think with your own creation, because you created you. You create your will, and it creates you. I go now. I love you. Be not afraid of any future. Be not afraid of divorce. Be not afraid of the bankruptcy court. I've been there in both of them. I'm just saying there are many changes in the future for you who will be me, because you will not wear the voice of man, the fabric of flesh the way we have in the past, for we will not create us in separation. We will create love because our love is infinite. And the spark of romance goes away never again. To think it's just physical and flesh on a seashore or a little romantic spot beside Lake Como. As much as I like this place, that place, there's more. The cosmos is awaiting your entry. Don't die. Don't give up. Ponder these things. And prolific be in your love. Project your love. Think about love. Love, love. Quit loving people as they are in separation, and see the one you are in them, that they are in you, that we are one, and that we are coming into a beingship, an existence that defies all mankind's abstraction of it. For we are no longer looking at the surreal, ethereal as something spiritual or divine that exists in a godship or a power of other. Our environment is us, what we choose it to be, as we create the authorship of confusion no more. Realize a lot of scriptures are backwards, inside out, false, to keep you in your mind wanting a salvation of what it describes as your soul. But I suggest there is a consciousness of perfection, not just based on love, doesn't just live in love, it is love. And when you begin to live love, you begin to hear love, ponder love, love begins to interact with you. You begin to love love itself. And the more you love love itself, the more you become it. The more you the more you become the wisdom, the knowledge, but not just of how to do something, but how to be who you really are, what you really are, where you really are, the infinite. And I love you. And I've begun a new series. The Creator's author, the author of creators, the conscious creators. So that's what I've named my existence on Substack at the moment. I love you and I invite you to commit, not just to gaining knowledge, not just to listening, but to becoming. And to become, you interact. There's a process of letting go. There's a process of unlearning. There's a process of letting go of your faith to be separate and believe in a Redeemer. You begin to change your position in marriage to your breath, so that your breath begins to create a different way, a new you, your breath, your words, your power, your energy. The conception takes place in you with your words. Be the living word, the love of one. And let this path be ignited in you if you choose. But beware, it's not easy. It's not simple. Creation, pardon, creation is learning to hate itself no more, but heal itself in all people to be one. And this is how I operate. So do something today you've never done. And do some things you often do a different way today. Love. Project love. Live love. Think love. See you as the creator of that situation. Now walking into it unarmed, not again, but no longer carrying the hammers of words and the words of hammers. Be the love. And let nothing rile your feathers. I'm sorry. Gosh. A lot of people I call tire kickers. I guess a term from my childhood. My dad sold cars for some years when he was young. He didn't marry till he was 40. But he said, there's some people just want to walk around, look at cars, and kick the tires. Take your time and go away. There's a commitment to become a creator, the creator of you. You ponder. You learn to ponder. Many times I've agonized in the path I've walked. But there is great joy. There's light. There's love. And at some point, you begin to emerge into it where you and the energy of that love is you. It's no longer your doing. It's your being. It's your being existent in your power, your ability, your capacity, no longer denying it. Walking in the throneship of one, just simply being you. And the energy of you cannot be denied you if you are willing to walk through the flames of hell. Thought land. And you're no longer worried about the decisions of others because you're creating your own destiny, your own creation, your own living, your love. And in loving love, you will have no need soon of other. I love you. The promise is given. Adorn you with light, love, and peace this day. I love you. TheodoreCottingham.com. I invite you to learn with me if you're ready. I'm not the teacher. You are. Because when you begin to interact lovingly, caressingly, with your words, your thoughts, the provocation, the excitement, the origination in a new way, you begin to interact with it, begin to expect, begin to be intimate, begin to be intimate with the real you, the authorship, the love of a romance of love that goes beyond the flesh, that does not limit itself to time, and it's no longer designed by anyone else. Be the real you. Love each other. Love me, love you. Love you enough to begin a Substack, to begin to write, to do something you've never done. Begin to channel. You see, maybe take 10 minutes, 15, take an hour after each lesson, each time of creation, a class, where you sit down with your coffee and your yellow tablet and your pen, and begin to channel the thoughts of another world, but one of love. If you begin to channel things that speak of conditions, what you must do, always holding out a carrot and a stick to provoke you to action and the doing, you may want to back up. Because there is a wisdom-filled process where you anoint you to love you. Whether you take that bottle of anointing oil, olive oil, or whether you dip your finger in a cup of coffee and anoint you. Oh, I did. Many times. Anoint me. Used to, in Jesus' name. Then my name. I just anoint me. If I anoint at all, I anoint me. To be who I really am. To understand the origination. To no longer be confused about who God is, who Satan is, and all the illusion of all of these things. I love you. I go now. Interact with your words in a new way. The consciousness of peril no more, but the consciousness of your light. The consciousness of the creator of you, being you, who creates you again in love, light, peace, and joy. Good day. TheodoreCottingham.com. I love you. I love you still. I always have. And now we will see. And we will glorify the flesh no more, but be the angels we really are, as one. Good day. Thank you for sharing these words, being here. Subscribe. When you're ready to no longer be denied, when you're ready to commit, to comprehend, to create a new you. Maybe I'm one, maybe I'm a helper. I love you either way. See ya. Good day.